to fix my headphone,
Okay, no
my
problems.
headset. Yes,
Sure, sure.
I can hear you. Low, low, low. Low. Can you speak?
Yeah, how's it going?
Ah,
Was it
so
really
I need
loud?
to buy a new one.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I think I can still hear you though, right?
Yeah, the problem is not with the microphone, it's with the head with the headphone. I don't know how to say it, with the
Maybe the inside of the headphones, maybe the the earpiece.
yes, the earpiece is the
Uh-huh.
problem with that. I don't know. The you usually I brought my headset from my work, but today I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
So I am using my own that are terrible.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So
that's fine, Sol. It'll be okay.
so
Just 1 hour.
what is the topic for today? Banned by bird.
Banned by birth, exactly right. It's going to be an interesting topic. We are going to read about societies around the world, specifically China, where they ban girls from doing certain jobs. So girls cannot just be whatever they want.
Mhm.
They have to choose. Uh, they can choose only jobs that the government says that girls can do.
Okay. Uh, you know what? The last week I was uh, with some friends, and and we and we and we test something cool. If you share the link of the Hangout,
Uh-huh.
everybody can join in the Hangout without being a user.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's something I guess maybe the engineers are working on. So if you share, so this link at the top for https://plus.google.com, that if you share with other people, then they can just join.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Right. That is interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. So Saul, how was your day? Did you do anything interesting?
Mm, yes. I am still teach. Still continue teaching
Mm-hmm.
to my friends how to programming in HTML.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I am teaching the basic of web pages, and they want to learn how to do it. So I am helping them.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Are they still at that early stage when they are still learning the very basic stuff?
Yes, from zero. It's for people that don't know nothing about web pages or internet.
Not even the internet. Wow.
Yeah, it's very difficult because I have to explain how internet work in simple words, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
but if you can succeed in that cell, then you are going to be a very good teacher if you can help people like that, because those are the most difficult students, right?
yeah, it's very difficult because I was I need to choose my words well, and pick some example very simple.
Uh-huh. Yes, for example, you can't say maybe URL. You have to say like or maybe even basic words like link. They might not know what a link is.
Yes, The last week I have spent 2 days explaining how a links work.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
But you know, you're
but
doing a good thing, Saul. You're doing a very good thing.
yeah, it's 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 fun, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. Are your students younger people? Are they older people?
Mm, I guess it's that it's like of my it's 37 or oh no 27 28
Yeah, those are
years.
young people. Yeah, young people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem is that they are, for example, uh, advertising people, lawyer, I don't know.
Advertising. They work in an advertising agency. They are lawyers for an advertising agency. Yeah.
Your journalist, and they don't know nothing about that.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's so interesting. I mean, even children these days, I think, know about the internet, right?
Yes,
Little,
everybody wants to know how to do a web page.
absolutely, absolutely. I have my own website also, Saul, if you, but I don't know anything about web pages, so I made it using WordPress.
Oh yeah, that is the next classes, how to build a website with WordPress.
Uh-huh. Fantastic. Yeah. My website is uh just my first name, last name.
Okay, I will check it.
Sure. It's very basic. There's nothing on it, but I hope you like it. Um, Marcelo, I didn't realize you were typing. I hope you have a good day. Or a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Um, Also, Saul, I think there's a little bit of an echo. I can hear myself, Saul.
Okay, I will fix that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sorry.
Thank you, Saul. Appreciate it. No, that's fine. Uh, Hey, Ken, how's it going? Good to see you.
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. How's life in the land of the Super Burger?
Sun rolls, and lunchtime comes. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Nothing special. Did you do anything interesting recently?
Recently, nothing. But I will go to the Paul McCartney's concert coming November. So I
No
got that.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah, maybe.
awesome.
Yeah, he will return to my town. Yeah, again. So
That is amazing.
yeah, very amazing.
He's gonna come to Fukuoka in what day of November is he
Mhm.
going to be there?
Pardon, I couldn't listen because voice got
No,
broken.
no worries. What day in November? So how many more weeks do
Uh,
you have?
November 15th.
Uh-huh. So just under 2 weeks, or just over 3 weeks, I mean.
Yes, yes. So I got a new album, and I'm listening to that that's a new his new album. Yeah,
Uh-huh. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's really, really cool. You know, there are so many different ways that we can appreciate good, music, and it's even more amazing when somebody is, actively trying to come to, different places and do shows and stuff like that.
Yeah,
To be a part of that experience must be amazing.
I think so. And his concert usually takes 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
3 hours every concert, and his age is amazing actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And how old is he? He's pretty old, right?
71, I guess.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm very surprised at what he's been able to do with his life. It's very it makes me feel like I am not doing anything with my life in
Me,
comparison.
yeah, me too. Because at that age, yeah, I couldn't do that. Yeah, I didn't do that. I won't do that. Yeah.
Well, you never know. You could be the next Paul McCartney. Who knows?
No, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
yeah. Because for me, the jet lag is a big problem actually. I'm not familiar with jet lag, so. Every time that happens, I feel maybe 1 week. It takes 1 week to recover from jet
Uh-huh.
lag. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember you telling that before, or sharing that with us before. Okay, guys, well, I'm glad you guys made it to class. Thank you very, very much. We have a very interesting article today. I kind of wish more people joined just because of the conversation aspect is going to be very interesting between three people, I think. Between us three, the more the merrier, right? So today we are going to be looking at intensifiers, right? And intensifiers include amplifiers, emphasizers, and they also include downtoners, right? Downtoners in English and intensifiers and amplifiers, they are all used to make sentences more powerful, more vibrant, to give verbs strength, to give descriptions strength, right? So we're going to look at how to manipulate them, manipulate amplifiers, amplifiers, emphasizers, and downtoners to make our English language more, more vibrant and sound more like native speakers, right? So that's the first part that we're going to look at. The second part that we're going to look at is we're going to look at this article. And this article, I was really happy when Saul asked me, what is the reason for this article? Why did I name it Banned by Birth? Because we're going to investigate different societies around the world, specifically China, but we can also talk about other places, that girls are actually banned by law into certain professions. They are not allowed to enter certain professions because they are women, right? And it's a very difficult situation for some folks because it's not easy to work really hard in life and somebody tells you you can't do something, you have a dream, but you can't fulfill that dream because of your gender, right? It's a very difficult thing to share with somebody, right? So we're going to learn why that is and maybe investigate why that is. Before we get started, guys, I do have a question for each of you, which is, do you think it's unfair to discriminate against somebody because of their gender? And let's start with Saul, please.
With who? With who?
Do you think it's unfair to do discrimination based on somebody's gender?
Of course. It's terrible. Everybody uh, has the same right to do everything they want.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why that cultures always uh, put aside to the women. I don't know. It's terrible. I don't know how if you are a son and you see your mother or sister in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
how you feel about that. I don't know if I see my sister in that kind of situation, I will do something to change that.
Mm-hmm.
Then that is why I always think what the brothers or father or uncles think about his about their sister, I don't know, mothers, aunts. That is terrible. If you if you don't want that for your family, you need to change the rules.
What you're saying is extremely powerful, Saul, and I appreciate you sharing that, right? It's very true. We look at our own individual lives and we try to imagine ourselves in that situation. Or we try to imagine people we know in that situation, right? Marcelo, welcome.
I changed my mind.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh,
Thank you.
Marcelo, I think maybe you were listening. What is your idea of discriminating against somebody because of their gender? Is it fair? Is it very unfair? Is it extremely unfair?
I think it's unfair.
Just
Unfair
normal
because
unfair?
Unfair. This is unfair
Just
because
unfair. Okay.
unfair because I think a woman has the same rights, to
Mhm.
the men's to the
Mhm.
man.
Absolutely. The
So
woman has the same rights as men. Uh-huh.
yeah, woman has the same rights as men.
Mhm.
Uh, I think if you have a dream,
Mhm.
if you I think you don't ever never you don't never let somebody tell you that you can do something.
Mhm.
If you have a dream, you have to keep walking and follow your dreams. You know,
Absolutely.
whatever,
Absolutely.
no matter what is difficulties, to achieve your goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's my advice for a woman that is passing for
That are in these
this
situations, right? Yeah.
situation. Yeah, situation.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Ken, what do you think?
Extremely unfair because people who you know who cannot people cannot their gender or their situation there. For example, handicapped people cannot change the situation, but because of that, some people or criticize. I mean, discriminated. I think it's the same issue. You know,
Mhm.
people woman is a woman, so they cannot change their situation, or they don't need to change actually,
Mhm.
because they were born on that way. So because of that, they cannot they cannot they stop searching their dream, or they cannot work. It's clearly touch their human rights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that affects their human rights. I think all of you guys, even though we are all men, there are no women in this class. I'm happy to see that we all agree that this is a practice that should change, right? So we're going to look at that, guys, in the second part of the class. First part, though, guys, let's go over some of these intensifiers in English, right? An intensifier is something that intensifies something. So it's something that makes something more intense. It gives something more meaning. It gives something some muscle, right? It gives a word some strength, or an adjective some strength, right? So this is how we use these words in English, right? So intensifiers, the first type is an emphasizer. What is an emphasizer? An emphasizer is a word that makes a word stronger, okay? Literally, that's the best way to think about it. Words like really, extremely, very, right? So when I was talking to Marcelo, I said, do you think this is extremely unfair or just unfair, right? And then we heard Ken said this is extremely unfair, right? So he is modifying the adjective unfair using extremely by indicating his extreme view on that issue, right? He doesn't think it's just unfair, he thinks it's extremely unfair, right? So we use words like really, very, extremely, right? I was really happy when I saw my sister after 2 years. You weren't just happy, you were really happy, right? I was extremely upset when my teacher uh, told me that I would not pass that class. I was extremely unhappy. I was extremely upset, right? So for these emphasizers, just to make a quick note of these, right? Emphasizers, they give words strength, right? Examples include very, really, and extremely, right? Could you guys each give me a quick example of a sentence using an emphasizer? Let's start with Saul on the right, please.
Hmm. Need to be extremely careful.
Uh-huh. I need to be extremely careful. About what?
Me to be extremely careful about how you teach
Uh-huh.
something to the kid.
I need to be extremely careful in how I teach to kids, right? I need to be extremely careful in how I teach to kids. In how I teach to kids, right? Perfect, perfect, right? I need to be extremely careful, excuse me. Be extremely careful. Be extremely careful, right? Okay. Good job, Saul. Any questions on that, Saul? The fact that we're using in how I teach, or when you can say when I teach or in how I teach.
Oh,
when I teach.
When I teach is better. Yeah, it's much easier. You can say in how, or you can say
when I
when I
teach.
teach. Exactly, when I teach. So, Marcelo, go ahead, please. One example from you.
Um, it's extremely important to study hard to achieve your goals.
Fantastic. It's extremely important to study hard to achieve your goals.
Yeah,
Right?
extremely.
Fantastic. It's extremely important to study hard to achieve your goals. And last but not least, Ken, please.
Using at least or extremely?
Well, you can use really, very, extremely, right?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I really want to speak English fluently.
I really want to speak English fluently. So your desire to speak English fluently is really very high, right? It's at a higher level than just if you were saying, I want to learn English fluently, right?
Higher level.
Higher level, exactly, right? Much higher level. Great, great, great. So we understand when it comes to these types of examples. Any questions on these emphasizers, guys? We're okay? Okay, fantastic, guys. So let's move on to the next one then. The next word, the next type of word is called an amplifier, right? So when I hear the word amplified, the first thing I think of is sound. For example, the volume. When you turn the volume up, you are amplifying the sound. You are increasing, you are making a word larger. You are increasing the meaning of a word. You're not necessarily giving it strength, but you're amplifying it. You're making it larger than it is normally, right? So that's a great way of thinking about it. We can say, for example, I understand this lesson. It's a normal sentence. I understand this lesson. I completely understand every part of this lesson. Or I completely understand what you are telling me. I understand what you're telling me versus I completely understand what you're telling me. See how
Or I
yeah, go
sorry,
ahead,
sorry.
Marcelo.
Keep
No, go
on,
ahead,
keep
Marcelo,
on.
go ahead.
Or I completely didn't understand the class.
I didn't completely understand.
I didn't completely understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't completely understand, right? So I didn't understand. Okay, you didn't understand. What didn't you understand? If somebody tells me I didn't understand, my first question is, which part did he not understand? But if you say, I didn't completely understand, then I can say, okay, he understood some of it, but not the big picture. He didn't understand the big idea. He
Yeah.
didn't understand the complete picture, right? Fantastic. I really like that, the use of that didn't completely, you know? So good job, Marcelo, with that. Fantastic. So an amplifier, we are making the meaning of a word larger. So completely, totally. I totally misunderstood my teacher. I totally misunderstood. She said something, I didn't understand it at all. I totally misunderstood, right? So completely, totally. What's another example? Another example is a word like, uh, you know, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. It's a little bit more formal, undoubtedly, but it's saying without a doubt. I'm 100% sure, without a doubt, undoubtedly, right? I am completely positive about something, right? You're not just positive, you're completely positive, right? So the words, these are the words that we use, right? Completely. So an amplifier increases the meaning of a word. Increases the meaning of a word. Just like you are increasing the volume on your TV, or if you have an amplifier for your stereo system, for your radio, right? Increases the meaning of a word. And we use words like completely, totally, right? Wholly, also wholly, right? He was wholly incorrect, or completely incorrect, totally incorrect, you know? And then undoubtedly. Undoubtedly is probably the most complicated one in this group. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly means without a doubt, right? Any questions about these words, guys?
Not for a while.
No,
Not for
no
a while?
fights.
Okay,
Not follow.
could you guys give me an example then? So let's start with Ken and let's go to the right.
Mhm. Like,
I totally understand this class.
Fantastic. Saul totally understands this class, right? Ken, I guess we'll come to you last, Ken. Sorry about that.
okay.
Marcelo, let's go with you, please.
I extremely think that it's important to know history.
But you're using extremely, right? Is extremely an amplifier, Marcelo?
Okay, and fine. I completely think that to study history is important.
So, hmm.
There's a mistake.
No. It's good, Marcelo. It's good. I like where you're going. There's just one small thing. When you're talking about thinking, right? It's not it's difficult to use completely with think. There is a better verb, right? And I think this verb will make your
Really?
sentence perfect. Yeah. We can say I completely believe.
Or could I say I really think? No.
Yeah, absolutely. You can say I really think or I completely believe. Both of these combinations are really good. I completely
Okay.
believe that it's important to learn history, or I really think it's important to learn history.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. De nada. And Ken,
Mhm.
one from you, please, as well.
Yeah, I totally understood your explanation.
I totally understood your explanation. Fantastic, right? I totally understood your explanation. Last but not least, guys, let's take a look at these downtoners. Okay? Downtoners, just by the way we hear the word, downtoner. Downtoner means it is bringing something down. It is decreasing the strength of a word, decreasing the meaning of a word. It's not amplifying, it's not emphasizing, it's doing the exact opposite, right? So what are words that we use when we want to use downfires? We can, downtoners, right? We can use words like kind of, kind of. I kind of understand what you're saying. I don't completely understand what you're saying, right? It's very similar to I don't completely understand. I kind of understand what you're saying, right? And exactly, Marcelo, we are lazy, so we say kinda instead of kind of, right? I kinda get it, right? People don't even say understand, they say get. I kinda get it. Or they say I got it, or I got it completely, I completely got it, right? When they want to say they understood something, right? So I kinda
I
understood it.
am. I'm kind of confused.
I'm kind of confused. Yeah, people say that a lot. I'm kind of confused, right? I don't know, maybe I don't understand some things, right? So kinda or kind of is the first example. Somewhat, somewhat of, right? So I am somewhat aware of the problem in Syria, let's say, right? Syria, there are a lot of tragedies happening, a lot of war. I am somewhat aware of the tragedies in Syria, right? The third example that we can use is something like slightly. Slightly. Slightly, right? Yeah, I'm slightly aware of what's going on in Honduras. If you ask me who's the president of Honduras, I would have no idea, right? I don't know anything about the history, very little, right? I'm slightly aware. I maybe even less than slightly aware. I know very little about the situation, right? So what are downtoners? Downtoners are, they decrease the meaning of a word, right? And we have examples like kind of, we have examples like slightly, and last but not least, we had an example of somewhat of an idea, right? So any questions about downtoners, guys?
No?
How about sort of?
Sort of, yeah. Sort of,
Yeah.
fantastic. Sort of is another one. And what's the colloquial form of sort of, Ken?
I think kind of. No.
Well, no, we can say sorta.
Okay. Sorta.
Yeah,
Sorta.
because we're
Kinda,
lazy,
sorta.
right? We're so lazy. Kind of becomes kinda. Sorta becomes sorta.
Mhm.
We say that a lot. I sorta get it. I sorta understand you. Yeah, perfect. Sort of, kind of, absolutely similar. Um, so Ken, could you give us an example using one of these, and we'll go all the way to the right?
Okay. I sorta understand Let's get
Oh,
about
you're so creative.
because
You're so
voice
creative.
voice are a bit broken for me, so I sort of understood.
Fantastic, fantastic. Your voice was breaking up, so I sort of understood what you were saying, right? Fantastic. Marcelo, what's another downtoner we can use?
I sort of didn't understand what you said.
I sort of didn't understand what you were saying. Yeah, fantastic. I sort of didn't understand what you were saying, right? Good, good, good. Uh, Saul, can you be more creative than these two clowns?
Uh,
Okay.
let me think.
I want you to be kind of more creative than these two guys.
It's a good one. Um,
Slightly,
um,
slightly more creative. Yeah, go ahead.
I am trying to be slightly more creative in this class, trying
Uh-huh.
to create a new sentence. I don't
Fantastic, fantastic. Right.
know.
I'm kind of trying to be more creative in this class, or yeah, slightly trying. Fantastic, fantastic, right? This is how we use these words, right? They add flavor, they add spice, they add love to the language, right? Otherwise, without these amplifiers and intensifiers and emphasizers and downtoners, language sounds very boring. We can't share our ideas as clearly if we don't use them, right?
I've heard people saying you will def fall in love with it.
Yeah,
You will
you'll
def fall.
yeah, yeah, and that's extremely colloquial, right? Young people say that a lot. Most deaf, man, most deaf. Most definitely becomes most deaf,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Most
most,
deaf.
Creative.
most deaf.
Yeah, and you know what's even more funny is there's an adjective now that's very common in all conversation. I say it all the time, okay? If something is good, like in Portuguese, they say, I think, legal, right? They say, Marcelo, something is very good. They say something like this, right? Legal or legal, like it's really good. Yeah, that one. I'm sorry, yeah, yeah. But I think it's pronounced like legal, right?
Yeah, legal. Yeah.
Legal, right? In English, we say legit. Man, that's so legit, man. Right?
Oh,
And
cool. It's not cool.
cool also works. Yeah, cool is a downtoner.
Okay.
Compared to legit, cool is a downtoner. Legit is an amplifier. Yo, man, that is legit, man. Right? Seriously, that's how we talk, right? When I talk to people, sometimes if I'm with my friends, legit means very, very cool. Very, very cool. It's an amplifier. It's an
Legit.
emphasizer. Yeah, legit. So legit.
Legit.
Right?
Original meaning of legit is legal,
No, no. The original meaning of legit is legitimate.
legitimate.
So legitimate became legit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny, but you hear this all the time, and among teenagers and younger people. Yo, man, that's so legit. That's so people say another word. They say this is actually really more slang. We say tight. If something is tight, it's not loose. But people say, yo, man, that's so tight, man. That's so tight, right? Like something is so cool, legal, like so really, really cool, right? It's so tight, it's so legit, right? These are words that we hear all the time in like normal conversation.
Okay. Living and learning.
Yeah, absolutely no. You don't want to say this if you're with your boss, Marcelo. Yo, man, that's legit, man. You don't want to say that to your boss, right?
You know
But
what I mean?
yeah, right. You don't want to sound like a crazy guy, but with friends and things like that, we use it all the time. Yeah, Ken, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So how about sick and ill? Sometimes it tends to be
Yes,
positive.
they do, right? So sick, even though it means somebody is sick, also means something that is very, very cool, right? Sick is very cool. Yo, man, that's a sick tune, man. You heard that song, man? That song was sick, man.
Ah.
Yeah. Deadly, we don't hear so much, Marcelo. But
No.
good thinking, good thinking. But we don't hear so much, right?
Okay.
But we do use the verb, since you were talking about death, we do use the verb kill. Kill we use to say that we completely destroyed something. Like maybe this is really funny, but when I'm with my friends, maybe we each have like maybe I eat a little bit of chicken, and one of my friends, he loves to eat, so he gets maybe a big bowl of fried chicken, right? In 10 minutes, he finishes the entire thing. Okay, a big bowl in 10 minutes. It takes I mean, normally 3 people would need to eat that fried chicken. He finishes it in 10 minutes, a big bowl. So I can say to my friend,
Wow.
"Yo," I can say, "Man, you killed that chicken, man."
I got it.
Like you destroyed that chicken.
Yeah,
Like
I got it.
there's nothing left, right? So if somebody does something very well, like you leave an interview, the interview was fantastic. You know you have the job, right? Yo, man, I killed that interview, man. So that's how we talk. It's really funny. Kill, sick, legit, tight, all the time, right? We use these words a lot. Any other questions, guys, about all these funny words?
I think I heard the totally at the beginning the slang like these, but totally now became standard English.
Yeah, totally is a slang, right? I mean, it's both a slang and formal English. When we hear girls use totally, it sounds very slang. Like sometimes girls, when they speak, they are talking to themselves and they say, I totally understand you. But yeah, maybe Marcelo, these girls are foxy girls, right? They are kind of suspicious if they are always using, words like totally. It depends on the personality, of course, but if a girl is always saying totally with her friends and laughing and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of no. I don't want to do anything with that girl, right? It's a kind of a dangerous situation. So, yeah, fantastic, guys. I think we killed this lesson.
Teacher, I've heard that. I've heard that when you are talking to a woman and you don't use to say make sex. You have to say perform. Yeah.
You have to. What do you have to say before?
Let's perform, for instance, instead of let's make sex.
Oh, let's perform.
Yeah.
Honestly, Marcelo, I don't know if there's a right way to say that phrase. Depends on the woman, really. I mean,
okay.
yeah, a perform sounds more like a task, like a job. So some girls might not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person, but yeah, people say all sorts of different verbs for.
And what does pain in the neck means?
A pain in the neck. A pain in the neck is something that bothers you, something that's bothering you.
Okay.
Like maybe there's somebody at your job who makes your life very difficult. Man, that guy is a pain in the neck.
A boring person.
Well, not necessarily a boring person. He just makes your life difficult.
Okay.
Something that makes your life difficult or annoying or is something that you have to worry about is a pain in the neck. Because a pain in the neck, when your neck hurts, it's bad, right? You feel bad the entire day. Oh man, my neck.
I got you.
So that person's like a pain in the neck. Yeah.
Just one more question, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hit the sack. What, for instance, on a phrase that I have in my memory, what time did you hit the sack?
Fantastic. Hit the sack is what time did you go to bed?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, somebody says hit the sack means going to bed. So I hit the sack. After this class, I'm going to hit the sack.
Okay.
Right?
That's interesting. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's good when you guys ask these questions. Yeah, slang, we use so much slang. To be native speaker involves learning a lot of slang.
And the head hot.
Head hot?
Yeah.
I can understand kind of what that means, but it's not very common, Marcelo. So
head hot is like your new idea is really head hot.
I haven't heard that one, Marcelo. To me, I thought head hot means somebody's angry. Like because we say hot-headed, and hot-headed in English means somebody who's angry. Somebody who gets angry very easily is a hot-headed person.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've heard that before. I haven't heard Red Hot, unfortunately. So maybe it's British. There could be many types of these phrases that are British, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, guys. So let's take a look then at the article. I think we killed that lesson and that last part. So let us take a look at this lesson, banned by birth. Right? I think you guys will really enjoy it. I was reading it. It's not the happiest topic, but reading it, I was really kind of I felt so happy that I'm living in a society that, oh, Marcelo, red hot. Red
Head
hot
hot.
means, yeah, red hot means like something is on fire. Something is like really fresh, really in the moment. Like it's cool. Like this is
Important.
yeah, like this is a red hot item. It's a very popular item.
Okay.
This is a
Got
red
it.
hot song. Yeah, something like that, right? Perfect, perfect. No, those are great questions, Marcelo. Uh, so, guys, let's take a look at this article. I'm going to screen share very quickly as well, so you guys can follow along. And we might not have time to read the entire thing, but I want to focus on the most important stuff. So, 100 women, the jobs Chinese girls just can't do. In China, as in many countries, more women than men are entering university. But are there jobs for the girls out there in the real world? Manicurist or courtroom judge? Cake decorator, or radio host. For the cost of a ticket, children in Beijing can test out dozens of possible careers at the I Have a Dream theme park. But even in this imaginary world, these children and their parents stick to rigid gender stereotypes. The most popular attraction for girls is the chance to dress up as flight attendants. After dragging tiny suitcases onto a fake plane cabin, they learn to serve meals from a miniature trolley. Straighten your uniforms, the girls are told, as they stand in neat rows, nervously tugging at their sleeves. Many boys choose to work as customs agents or security guards, in costumes complete with fake rifles and mini bulletproof vests. In China, the idea that girls can't or shouldn't do the same jobs as boys is passed on early. It's a lesson that extends into university and beyond. 600 kilometers south of Beijing at the China Mining and Technology University in China's eastern Jiangsu province, a group of mining engineer students listen intently to their professor. They're the envy of others at the school, since they belong to one of China's so-called green card majors, courses that all but guarantee employment after graduation. But this program has one clear entrance requirement: men only, right? So if you want to be a mining engineer in China, you have to be a man, right? And you see these girls, so this is what they were saying at the beginning of the lesson, right? Little children are taken to an amusement park where they can imagine that they are in different professions. Even from that young an age, these girls are maybe 5, 6 years old, they are not allowed to do or even pretend that they're doing jobs that are meant for men, right? So the most popular jobs for girls that they try in this imaginary world, they pretend that they're flight attendants, right? And the boys, look at this guy. This guy is going to be a future soldier right here. I mean, he's got the AK-47, he's got the cap, he's got the smile, right? He is ready to kill somebody, right? So this job for security guards, this is also only for boys, right? So, and these children are learning this from, age 5, right? China's labor law suggests mining work is unsuitable for women, so we ask women to refrain from applying to our major, explains one of the department's senior professors, Xu Jisen. This university is not alone. Out of respect for women's safety, it says, China's education ministry bans girls from studying a variety of subjects across China, from tunnel engineering to navigation. At one university in Dalian, northern China, females are barred from studying naval engineering because months on board a ship would be tough for women to endure, one admissions officer explained to the BBC. Slightly different reasons are given for severely restricting the number of women who can study at Beijing's People's Police University, which has a strict quota, limiting girls to comprise only 10 to 15% of the student body. So if you want to study at Beijing's People's Police University, they only accept 10 to 15% girls. The remaining 90 to 85% are boys, right? 85 to 90% are boys. An admissions officer refused to be interviewed in person, but over the phone, he told the BBC that women were not allowed into the university in large numbers because there were not many jobs open to them after graduation, since most people in China expected police officers to be male, right? And other professors are saying some jobs are really inappropriate for women, right? If they force their way into these jobs, they will waste energy that can be better used elsewhere, right? So this is what the professors are saying. The professors are saying this kind of stuff, right? Some girls don't agree. It was blatant gender discrimination, argues one of the student activists, Xiao Meili. No one had stood up to these universities before and told them these policies were wrong. Why didn't anyone want to change anything? It really made me very angry, right? So if someone can endure tough hours, tough working hours, that person should be allowed to do it, explains one student, right? So the students agree that this shouldn't be something that limits, if somebody can be on a ship for 5 months, 6 months, then that's okay. They can be a woman, right? It doesn't really matter. What do you guys think about this article? What's your immediate reaction to this article about these policies, especially about what these students are saying, as well as what the professors are saying? I mean, how do you guys feel about this?
I just changed my mind about what I said. I think that is extremely unfair.
Awesome. You're using the emphasizer now, right? Great job, Marcel. Why did you change your mind then?
I don't know how could I say it for you, but I just changed my mind.
It just does. It's not fair. It's more unfair than you imagined, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's more unfair than you imagined because naval engineering. Saul, I think, Saul, 100%. I completely believe it's bad for a woman to be on a ship for 6 months. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess because there are some jobs that the women can do. For example, women can work in I don't know, fixing a car or a mine of carbon. It's
Uh-huh.
a terrible job for women.
Uh-huh.
Or I don't know.
But Saul, I was actually joking when I said I completely believe women cannot be on a boat. I was actually joking. I was trying to
Oh
confuse you.
yeah, of course. No, yeah, but I understood, but
Uh-huh.
I guess there is jobs that the women can do. For example, here in my country,
Uh-huh.
women can drive a buses because it's very dangerous here.
Really?
Only
So you guys have those laws in Honduras, they cannot drive buses?
Yeah, because the people that get onto the buses is very dangerous. So
Mm-hmm.
women alone can drive buses in the night. So
Oh, wow.
that is that is the kind of example I am talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The kind of job that are relatively danger for women.
But is it fair to say, Marcelo, that the dangerous people that are on the bus, that they're all going to be men? Are there dangerous women, maybe, that can also come on the bus?
Bus?
Yeah, like
In
if...
Brazil,
Uh-huh.
uh, there is no driver uh, woman.
There's no woman
No,
driver. Uh-huh.
there's no woman driver here in Brazil too, or woman that drive trucks or pilot. You know, it
How come?
can.
What's the reason for that?
I
I
don't
think
know.
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
extremely unfair.
Yeah, I think so. I think too.
Yeah, right? Because Saul, I mean, really, maybe some of these narcos and all these bad people, what if some of them are women? Will a man be able to fight a woman if the woman is a dangerous woman?
I think it will change. It is changing.
Uh-huh.
As the days go by,
Uh-huh.
I think it's changing. You know,
Yeah. Is it the same?
woman is getting more space now. Nowadays.
More rights and more space, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same in Honduras, Saul? Is it the same in that we're hearing from Marcelo? Are things maybe changing, or is it still difficult?
What?
No, I was saying, do you agree with Marcelo that things are changing, or is it different in Honduras? Is it still difficult, or are things not changing in Honduras?
I guess it's not going to change in the future how some men perceive to the women because
Mm-hmm.
it's a kind of culture, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You raise your kid with that kind of thought, they
Mm-hmm.
will be um, treat the women in the same way. But we need to educate our kids different in that way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree very much with that.
Yeah,
Right? It's not. Uh-huh.
and that and that brings me to the first question I was saying in the beginning of the class. How a brother or a father can see his daughter in that situation and do not do anything about it. I don't know. It's strange.
It is very tough, right? Very, very tough situation. Ken, what would you say to all of this? What's your reaction, and what do you think? How do we think we
Mm,
can change this?
yeah, kind of this kind of thing, more or less is happening in Japan as well. But in 1980s, kind of law established Equal Employment Act. So in the law, if the woman was discriminated by their gender, it's illegal here. So
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, more women's drivers here, women bus driver or taxi drivers or truck drivers, and kind of so situation is changing. So, and professor usually don't say such kind of thing on public because usually such kind of people lead the society. So kind of maybe they try to sometimes they try to that view kind of liberal view of the society. Maybe the very conservative professor might say so, but usually professors tend to be liberal. So maybe in 30 or 40 years ago, men might have have said this kind of thing, but nowadays they don't say that, especially in public. And but still, establish law and to apply law a bit different. Still, many women discriminated or in terms of their salary or job to getting job opportunities here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the application of law is completely separate from the enactment of law, or the law is no good until people are actually acting based on the law,
May-
right?
Right.
Maybe it's a kind of prejudice of the weaker sex. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
But
mean?
I don't know if I can agree with that, guys. Honestly, because I know that in some situations we need women in some situations, like a female police officer or a female security guard. Those things may be very necessary. I mean, if you're in an airport, right? If my sister or my mother, if the security guard is, you know, checking them for guns and they are doing this, if a guy is doing that, I don't like that. I want a woman police officer to touch my sister, not a male
Mm,
police officer. You know what I mean?
I got
Like,
it. I got it.
like things like that. I feel like we don't need like all, we don't need 50% women, 50% men. I'm not saying that kind of equality, but it's to completely make it illegal for someone to do a profession. I think is very unfair because there is a need for every point of view in a career, right? I mean, mining engineer, maybe not so much. It doesn't depend on gender. But what if a girl really wants to and has a passion for mining and has a passion for engineering, and that is the best fit for her, right? Why should she have to choose, industrial engineering or computer engineering if she really liked mining engineering? You know, I mean, I guess that's. I mean, we were saying that before, guys. That it's nobody's business. People should do. I think Marcelo, you said people should do what they want to do. They should follow their dreams, right? But do you guys find it really surprising that they condition their children in China? By the word condition, I mean that they're brainwashing their children in China from such a young age to follow these prejudices. Does that surprise you? I mean, those girls in the costumes, they're wearing flight attendant dresses, and those little boys with the guns. I mean, is it wrong to start that early with children, or do you think that's okay? Saul, what do you think? Let's start with Saul.
Extremely wrong. Extremely wrong.
Okay, Marcelo, you think it's extremely wrong? Let's hear from Saul, guys. 1 second, guys. Saul has been, I think, waiting to talk.
Extremely and very wrong.
Absolutely, extremely very wrong. Saul, what's your opinion?
Yeah, it's bad that kind of watch brain that China do, but I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's part of the culture, I guess, of China. Do it the things like that, but it's wrong. It's wrong. Everything that they do is wrong with the women and child in that situation. But if you think in other country, I don't know, for example, in the USA, you will see that uh, the the wash brain is is a little it's a little different. For example, the channel of mode or I don't know the channel in magazine wash the brain of the teenagers in the USA. It's not the same washing brain that China, but in the two countries uh, uh, per, perform the same situation. Because if you think, for example, in the USA, you will see that the young girls only think and to be model and I don't know and work in like a model and they didn't think to study a career in I don't know aerospace. She only wants to be a model and and appear in television or in TV. So that is why I think it's some similar, but there are two kind of wash of brain.
Two kinds of brainwashing.
Yeah, yes, but even though the China is the worst.
Yeah, guys, Saul, I think you bring up a great point, right? In the U.S., we also have stereotypes and we also have prejudices. People have them generally in all parts of the world. People are people, right? Some societies, some cultures have different ones. In some societies, they're hidden. Some societies, they're visible, right? But if you look at the U.S., yeah, just like you were saying, Saul, what is the perfect? I mean, every man wants to be that supermodel, right? That handsome guy with all the things, and every girl wants to be the supermodel. Yeah, Marcel, go ahead.
They are kind of person that I think they are keeping their old tradition. They like to keep their old tradition. That's the reason. My point of view. They don't like to change the rights, the they like to keep their old traditions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's my point of view about
Absolutely.
this.
I think that's it's true, right? They are resisting this change, right? They kind of don't like to change,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, Marcelo said a good point in that the China have a tradition that they don't want change.
Uh-huh.
They don't like to look beyond, you know, beyond.
Yeah,
Uh,
give,
Many people are afraid of changing,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
people are very afraid of changing.
Change is
yeah.
scary, guys. Yeah.
even if the tradition is bad and all the world see the bad things, you need to accept that there is a tradition and you can change that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree, Saul. Ken, do you have any views on this as well? What about
Yes.
specifically? I wanted to know what your view is about those kids. But besides that, anything else too?
Actually, such kind of a brainwashing is happening, I think, in the most of the nation in the world, actually.
Uh-huh.
Kids, parents give the dolls for girls and, give, give kind of soldiers to the boys, or kind
True.
of, or maybe in Japanese case, maybe soldier is not so usual, kind of Godzilla or some aggressive heroes or something like that. But one thing is, they separate gender to only two, but actually gender is not only two. That's a big
Absolutely.
question for this kind of thing for
Yeah,
me.
there are people with a third gender,
Some
right?
people have the different gender.
Thanks,
So
Sal. Thanks about that. Yeah, but no, I understand completely, Ken, right? That they do have that situation. There is a third gender, right? There are people who identify as a third gender, right? So what do we do with those folks?
yeah, so this kind of thing maybe might connect to discrimination for these people. Yeah, actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's funny that these kids are being, I mean, that these kids are being brainwashed to this extent at such a young age? I mean, they haven't even started school, but the girls are being told that they can't become security guards. I mean, is there a benefit to that? Maybe in their society they see a benefit, but would you want your child to have that brainwashing, Ken?
No, I don't want to. And you said, that there are women police and women securities guard here, and the advantage of that, woman, if the bodyguard touches the man's bodyguard touches the woman's body, woman really uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
or same as police.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So actually, it's advantage having different genders of the police has
Where
advantages.
where where are from Aka?
Japan.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
I think you guys have brought some great points, guys. Did you guys like the article? Like in
Yeah,
general?
I like. I really appreciate it. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's
I'm just pressing. I really appreciate it.
uh-huh. No, that's awesome. I want you guys to let me know if the articles are boring or if they're just like, if they don't, because I try to find articles that will get us to have good conversations, right? Sometimes the questions I ask, nobody knows the answer, guys. So don't think you guys have to have answers. I'm just asking questions to make conversation, right? You can say, I don't know, I have no idea. What are you talking about? Stop talking to me. You can say whatever you want, guys. But it's I want to get us thinking. I guess that's the idea, right? So yeah, it is. India also. I think from my culture, I can share with you guys. India has a very similar situation. But things are changing quickly in India. I think compared to 10, 15 years ago. One of the things, it's interesting. I'll just make this last point. Girls in India for a long time, maybe 10 years ago, this changed. Finally, this changed. But for a long time, girls in India could not become flight attendants, or it was seen as that you are kind of selling your body if you're a flight
Uh,
attendant.
are they not allowed to drive there? Yeah, woman.
No, India can drive. India can drive anything.
I can drive.
Yeah, yeah. There's only one country in the world where women cannot drive. That's Saudi Arabia.
Okay, Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia, yeah, Saudi Arabia, and they are trying to change that also. But that's the last country in the world. India, women can do anything, right? But there was a cultural idea that if a woman becomes a flight attendant, it's not a respectable job because they take the very beautiful women as flight attendants, and there's that degree of separation. The flight attendant is serving the pilot, serving the passengers. It was seen as a not respectable profession. Some people, some very rude people, very traditional people, used to say in India that being a flight attendant is like being a prostitute. You're being a prostitute,
Oh.
yeah, like you're being a prostitute to the system that is, they choose you because you're beautiful, and you are serving people because you are lower than them. You are serving guests. Maybe men are making bad remarks about you. Maybe the pilot wants to take advantage of you, or other people want to take advantage of you. It was seen as a very not respectable profession in India for many years. But things changed, and now many parents, they want their daughters to be flight attendants because they understand that it's not just the job, it's the experience, right? It's not the person's title. It's not the person's, I am a flight attendant, I'm a doctor. It's the experience that they're getting in their profession, their personal growth, right? They want to do something, let them do it. If they don't like it, then they have learned something about themselves, right? If I hate teaching and I join Colingo, I won't stay more than a few days, right? So, but I'll learn that I hate teaching, and then I can do something else, right? So parents are finally understanding that experience is more important than the title of the job that you have, right? It's not, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist. No, do you actually like your job? Do you have passion for what you do, right? So it's a very big thing. I think China really needs to understand that as a country, that if they want happy citizens, happy people, they need to just leave. Yeah, they need to leave the people alone. Just let the people do what they want. I
That's
mean,
right.
Yeah.
it's a billion people. China will not become a dead country overnight or over 100 years, 200 years. If anything, they will grow and become more powerful if they let their people build their future. So India is just, I mentioned India because I'm familiar with India, and it's similar in terms of population, very big population.
Or they
Yeah,
could make the move, The Walking Dead there. You know?
yeah, they could, they
Just
could.
kidding.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? People don't. I mean, parents really sometimes don't understand their kids, and
Yeah.
it's very frustrating to see that. My parents don't understand me sometimes. I try to explain things to them. They are traditional parents, even though they have lived here for many years, they are traditional. They think about the world differently. Like my dad. I once asked my dad, "What do you think is your what job is the easiest job in the world?" He said, "Oh, I think shopkeeper," right? He thinks businessmen have an easy job, or salespeople have an easy job. Oh, somebody comes in your store, they buy something, okay, have a good day, have a nice day. Yeah. But no, every job is difficult, right? Every job has
Yeah,
has
yeah.
advantages, disadvantages, right?
You have
So
a lot of dues to pay.
absolutely, absolutely. So I guess we all have those situations. We know about people like that, right? But guys, anything else we wanted to mention? I loved hearing about Japan, Brazil, Honduras. Shared some of the stuff I know about India as well. But I mean, in general, do you guys have any questions about? I loved how you guys used the intensifiers. You guys really use them very, very. I said it really, huh? You guys really use them very, very well, right?
Okay, I
Uh,
really appreciate your class, and
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
I
De nada,
totally
de nada.
appreciate your class.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. You guys are so obrigado, obrigado, and thank you. Muchas gracias to Saul. And wait, what is the word for arigato, obrigado, and muchas gracias? I got them all.
Wow.
Muito
Right.
Everything
obrigado,
is
muchas gracias.
everything is fine for him, but the only thing is I am not from Honduras. Yeah, I'm from
Oh,
Nicaragua.
you're from Nicaragua. I keep forgetting, Saul. I keep forgetting. Ay, 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 ay. Sorry
you
about
all,
that, Saul.
you all the class spent call me from Honduras.
I know. You should have written something in the chat, Sal. I feel bad now. Okay, Nicaragua, 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 Nicaragua. Okay. Same language though, same language. So
Yes.
muchas gracias, Sal.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Starting tomorrow, tomorrow, same schedule. 2 classes in the morning, 2 classes at night. I hope to see you guys soon.
Okay. See you
Have
tomorrow.
a
Thank you very
nice,
much.
have a
Alrighty,
nice
guys.
week.
Yeah, you too,
Bye.
guys. Take care,
You
guys.
too.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember you telling that before, or sharing that with us before. Okay, guys, well, I'm glad you guys made it to class. Thank you very, very much. We have a very interesting article today. I kind of wish more people joined just because of the conversation aspect is going to be very interesting between 3 people, I think. Between us 3, the more the merrier, right? So today we are going to be looking at intensifiers, right? And intensifiers include amplifiers, emphasizers, and they also include downtoners, right? Downtoners in English and intensifiers and amplifiers, they are all used to make sentences more powerful, more vibrant, to give verbs strength, to give descriptions strength, right? So we're going to look at how to manipulate them, manipulate amplifiers, amplifiers, emphasizers, and downtoners to make our English language more, more vibrant and sound more like native speakers, right? So that's the first part that we're going to look at. The second part that we're going to look at is we're going to look at this article. And this article, I was really happy when Saul asked me, what is the reason for this article? Why did I name it Banned by Birth? Because we're going to investigate different societies around the world, specifically China, but we can also talk about other places, that girls are actually banned by law into certain professions. They are not allowed to enter certain professions because they are women, right? And it's a very difficult situation for some folks because it's not easy to work really hard in life and somebody tells you you can't do something, you have a dream, but you can't fulfill that dream because of your gender, right? It's a very difficult thing to share with somebody, right? So we're going to learn why that is and maybe investigate why that is. Before we get started, guys, I do have a question for each of you, which is, do you think it's unfair to discriminate against somebody because of their gender? And let's start with Saul, please.
With who? With who?
Do you think it's unfair to do discrimination?
To fix my headphone.
Okay, no
My
problems.
headset. Yes.
Sure, sure.
I can hear you. Low, low, low. No. Can you speak?
Yeah, how's it going? Was it really
I
loud?
need to buy a new one.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I think I can still hear you though, right?
Yeah, the problem is not with the microphone, it's with the headphone. I don't know how to say it, with the
Maybe the inside of the headphones, maybe the earpiece.
yes, the earpiece is the problem with that. I don't know. The usually I brought my headset from my work, but today I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
So I am using my own that are terrible.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, that's fine, Saul. It'll be okay.
so
Just 1 hour.
what is the topic for today? Banned by birth.
Banned by birth, exactly right. It's going to be an interesting topic. We are going to read about societies around the world, specifically China, where they ban girls from doing certain jobs. So girls cannot just be whatever they want. They have to choose they can choose only jobs that the government says that girls can do.
Okay. Uh, you know what? The last week I was uh, with some friends, and and we test something cool. If you share the link of the Hangout,
Uh-huh.
everybody can join in the Hangout without being a user.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Nothing special? Did you do anything interesting recently?
Recently, oh, nothing. But I will go to the Paul McCartney's concert coming November. So I
No
got that.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
maybe. Yeah, he will return to my town. Yeah, again.
That
So
is amazing.
yeah, very amazing.
He's gonna come to Fukuoka in what day of November is he
Mhm.
going to be there?
Pardon, I couldn't listen because voice
No,
broken.
no worries. What day in November? So how many more weeks do
Uh,
you have?
November 15th.
Uh-huh. So just under 2 weeks, or just over 3 weeks, I mean.
Yes, yes. So I got a new album, and I'm listening to that that's a new his new album. Yeah,
Uh-huh. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's really, really cool. There are so many different ways that we can appreciate good, music, and it's even more amazing when somebody is, actively trying to come to, different places and do shows and stuff like that. To be
Yeah,
to be a part of that experience must be amazing.
I think so. And his concert usually takes 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
3 hours every concert, and his age is amazing actually. Yeah,
Yeah. And how old is he? He's pretty old, right?
71, I guess.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm very surprised at what he's been able to do with his life. It's very it makes me feel like I am not doing anything with my life in
Me,
comparison.
yeah, me too. Because at that age, yeah, I couldn't do that. Yeah, I didn't do that. I won't do that. Yeah.
Well, you never know. You could be the next Paul McCartney. Who knows?
No, no way. That,
Yes.
yeah,
Not gonna happen. It's just not gonna
yeah.
happen.
Because for me, the jet lag is a big problem actually. I'm not familiar with jet lag, so every time that happens, I feel maybe 1 week. It takes 1 week to recover from jet
Uh-huh.
How a links work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
But you're
uh,
doing a good thing, Saul. You're doing a very good thing.
yeah, it's 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 fun, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. Are your students younger people? Are they older people?
Mm, I guess it's that it's like of my it's 37 or oh no 27, 28
Yeah, those are
years.
young people. Yeah, young people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem is that they are, for example, uh, advertising people, lawyer, I don't know.
Advertising. They work in an advertising agency. They are lawyers for an advertising agency. Yeah.
Your journalist, and they don't know nothing about that.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's so interesting. I mean, even children these days, I think, know about the internet, right?
Yes,
Little,
everybody wants to know how to do a web page.
absolutely, absolutely. I have my own website also, Saul, if you, but I don't know anything about web pages, so I made it using WordPress.
Oh yeah, that is the next classes, how to build a website with WordPress.
Uh-huh. Fantastic. Yeah. My website is uh just my first name, last name.
Okay, I will check it.
Uh-huh. Sure. It's very basic. There's nothing on it, but I hope you like it. Um, Marcelo, I didn't realize you were typing. I hope you have a good day. Or a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Um, Also, Saul, I think there's a little bit of an echo. I can hear myself, Saul.
Okay, I will fix that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sorry.
Thank you, Saul. Appreciate it. No, that's fine. Uh, Hey, Ken, how's it going? Good to see you.
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. How's life in the land of the Super Burger?
Sun rolls, and lunchtime comes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something I guess maybe the engineers are working on. So if you share, so this link at the top for https://plus.google.com, that if you share with other people, then they can just join.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. So Saul, how was your day? Did you do anything interesting?
Mm, yes. I am still continue teach. Still continue teaching
Mm-hmm.
to my friends how to programming in HTML.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I am teaching the basic of web pages, and they want to learn how to do it. So I am helping them.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Are they still at that early stage when they are still learning the very basic stuff?
Yes, from zero. Is for people that don't know nothing about web pages or internet.
Not even the internet. Wow.
Yeah, it's very difficult because I have to explain how internet work in simple words, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
but if you can succeed in that cell, then you are going to be a very good teacher if you can help people like that, because those are the most difficult students, right?
yeah, it's very difficult because I was I need to choose my words well, and pick some example very simple.
Uh-huh. Yes, for example, you can't say maybe URL. You have to say like or maybe even basic words like link. They might not know what a link is.
Yes, the last week I have spent 2 days explaining